One of the most talked about parts of Formula One are the tyres, and tyre management is now one of the key skills a driver can possess, next to outright speed obviously. Do the tyres last too long, like in Baku? They sometimes last not long enough. The buck always stops with the tyre manufacturer, and in this case, that's Pirelli. But will it be Pirelli in 2025? The truth is, the tyre specification is set out by Formula One, and Pirelli just design a tyre to that spec. But from 2025 onwards, the bid is up for review, and there's rumours that Japanese company Bridgestone are putting their name in the hat. Could we see a return of Bridgestone back in Formula One? Let's just backtrack for a minute. In fact, let's backtrack for 13 years. That's how long Pirelli had been the sole tyre manufacturer for Formula One. Before that, it was Bridgestone for 4 years. Before that, it was Michelin and Bridgestone, with each team choosing their preferred tyre manufacturer. Whatever anyone says, we should never go back to an era with 2 tyre manufacturers. Just think of USA 2005, where only 6 cars lined up on the grid. They were all Bridgestones, because all the other runners were on Michelins, and Michelin couldn't guarantee the tyres around the Indy circuit. But that's not even the biggest issue. Michelin would be better at some circuits, Bridgestone would be better at others. We're introducing another random element that a driver can't control. The way we have it right now, the Pirelli tyres may be good on a race weekend, they might last, they might not last, but at least every driver's in the same boat, and that's fair. The deadline for applicants was the 15th of May, but Formula One won't make a decision on who the approved bidders are till the 16th of June. What we do know is that the last tyre tender was 2020 to 2023, and in that instance, Pirelli were challenged by Hankook. Maybe Hankook could try again, who knows? Then due to COVID, Pirelli were granted an extension to 2024. So they've got another year on the contract, and then 2025 to 2027 is when the new tyre tender is for, with a potential to be increased to 2028. Bridgestone haven't been in Formula One for a long time, but they do have heritage. Like I say, they used to be in Formula One. They also used to do tyres for Le Mans back in the 80s and 90s. They've done tyres for the FIA World GT Championship. They also do Super GT in Japan. But their sister company, Firestone, also do the tyres for IndyCar in America. As of right now, though, there is no concrete information on who's provided a tyre tender application. We just don't know. We can only speculate. What we do know is this. Bridgestone's manager of motorsport and planning, Aichi Suzuki, did speak to Autosport recently and said this: "We are always thinking about what and how we can best supply our motorsport activities in global categories, including Formula One. Of course, we are conducting research on such matters." I think it's great that more companies are interested in Formula One, but we need to err on the side of caution here. I think there's an idea or a concept that if Bridgestone came in, or Michelin, or another company, the tyres would be so much better. It's Pirelli's fault, right? The reason the tyres don't degrade as much, that's Pirelli's fault. The reason the tyres degrade too much is Pirelli's fault. The reason the tyres are too hard, that's Pirelli's fault. But Pirelli make the tyres based on the specifications that Formula One give them. And the idea that another manufacturer is going to come in, whether that's Bridgestone, Hankook, Michelin, and suddenly that's going to change, is probably a little bit naive, because they're going to be under the same restrictions as Pirelli. And that's not to say they can't make a better tyre with that specification in mind. They might do. But I imagine Pirelli could make a much better race tyre if they wanted to. If they were completely unrestricted, I imagine they could make a very, very good Formula One tyre. Way better than what we've got now. But sadly, they do have restrictions. I mentioned tyre management before, and it's such an important part of Formula One now. We've seen drivers do entire races on a set of hard tyres. But at the Spanish Grand Prix, we saw drivers doing 30-odd laps on a set of soft tyres. Well, that doesn't seem like it should be possible. Of course, there were circumstances that aided that. The temperature, for instance, the track temperature and the ambient temperature was a lot lower than the teams thought. But even still, a soft set of tyres shouldn't be able to run half the race distance. It doesn't seem right to me. Do we want races with more stops? Do we want races just to carry on with one stop? Because ultimately a driver's skill is how fast they can drive, but a driver's skill is also how smoothly they can achieve that speed to keep those tyres going for as long as they can. We know Max Verstappen's very good at it. Lewis has been good at it over the years, but Max has been excellent at it, even though he hasn't really been challenged this season. Ultimately, if we want to see changes in the way the tyres work in Formula 1, we probably need broader changes than just a new tyre manufacturer. But it's interesting to see other companies are interested in getting back into Formula 1. And I'm interested to see how many actually put forward an application. We'll see. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you next time.